Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Carl Minger. This is Aaron Burns. We are Weichert Realtors Main Edge, WRME Live. Coming to you on this foggy Friday morning.
Yes.
I tell you what, it's pretty thick out there. You know, as Sandy said, the weather guy said it's dense fog. And how does he know how smart the fog is, right?
Right.
You know, is dense even politically correct if you're talking about IQs?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Probably not.
Who knows? Who knows?
Uneducated, I think, would probably be more politically correct.
That's right. Okay. Man, it's nice to have some warm weather, though.
Yes.
Because we have had nothing but yuck. Of course, it wasn't the sub-zero, colder than the North Pair stuff they had in Chicago.
I was looking at some of those photos on Facebook. It was ridiculous. I would have done moved.
Yes, I believe I'd be doing something else because that is, I don't know. My oldest daughter, when she first got married, they talked about moving to Minnesota. Then she went up there, and they came back and they live here.
I have visited, and that's all I want to do in the summer. It's cold.
Snow is cool, but every day and all that ice that they've got going is just just amazing. But of course, everybody's on that governor for shutting a lot of stuff down. I thought, was it Kentucky, whatever? I can't remember where it was, Ohio, and or he's saying that a lot of people are soft, and. Our society has definitely gotten softer. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. We get more snow days around here, when we get a dusting.
But people got to remember, too, in states like ours, we don't get the massive winters
we don't.
that these other states get. So we are not as prepared sometimes because we're not used to dealing with it every winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we had sub-freezing weather last weekend, and now we're supposed to hit 70 degrees this weekend.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
So if you're out on Saturday, go see Elisa over at 9904 Glasgow Terrace. Sorry, my allergies are blurring my eyes here in Yukon. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 2016, 1,828 square feet, and it's listed for $195,000.
You have an open house there?
Yes.
Okay.
So, February 2nd, Saturday from 2 to 4.
Saturday?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I actually like Saturday open houses because, people are out wandering around doing it, especially on a pretty weekend.
Yeah.
And most of the houses aren't open on Saturday. They're open on Sunday afternoon. And, I like my Sunday afternoons to be family time and stuff like that. But everything's different in different areas. They're talking about the consumer confidence is a little bit low right now because of the government shutdown. Of course, the government shutdown is over, at least for a few weeks. But I think most of the people are, they're, dealing with this government shutdown pretty well. Everybody that I know, anyway. The feds this week aren't changing any of the rates right now. Everything's kind of staying the same, so that should be pretty good for our market. I was surprised at the appreciation numbers. The average appreciation on homes is 5.2%, where historically it's been 3 to 3.5%. That's pretty good,
Yeah.
And we still have quite a bit of a market demand. They're building houses everywhere.
Yes, I talked to a new builder up in our area, and he was talking about some of the things they do standard in their homes, and I was just like, dang, tankless water heaters, their insulation, their foundation, they almost do a pure system standard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just crazy what they've changed and some of the builders have started doing.
Yeah, buyers really need to look at the house. It's not just look at this, this is pretty, 3-bed, 2-bath, whatever. Look at how the houses are built. And if you're going and looking at new builds and there's one completed that you're looking at, go look at the ones that they're building. Okay? Even if you don't know a lot about construction, find somebody that does and take them with you. Take your dad, whatever.
Ask questions.
There's some huge differences. Even though everything has to meet code,
right,
doesn't mean they're the same. Okay.
And ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask them to explain something. If they say,
Absolutely.
our plumbing pipes, are this brand. Well, what's the difference between that brand and what's in the other houses or what's normally standard? Have them explain why it's different.
Right. One of the things I see a lot is, they have builder grade ceiling fans. Okay, and most of them are really good. They're not cheap, but if you're buying a house and it's not quite finished, you're buying a new build, and you want to upgrade a few things, you can do that without changing a lot of stuff. Okay, and without adding a whole lot of cost. Okay, you can go to some upgraded ceiling fans all the way throughout the house, generally for around $400 to $500. Okay, and believe me, it's a lot better to do it when you first move in or when the house is being completed than going in and putting them in later. It's just easier on the builder, easier on you. Your warranty all stays in place, because all of them have a 1-year builder's warranty, and you want to make sure you're going to be able to take advantage of that.
But yeah, do research, whether it's a new builder or resale. Do your research, ask questions. It's a big investment. So the last thing you want
Absolutely is. It frustrates me when I'm dealing with buyers and they treat things too lightly. Maybe I'm a little critical of things, but I work hard for every dime I make.
Yes.
If I'm going to spend money on something, I expect a quality item or whatever in return.
Right.
And some people just kind of, it's no big deal, okay? And that's okay. But don't call 6 months after you bought the house and say, well, these ceiling fans are buzzing, okay? Which, that's why this whole conversation came up. Well, they were the cheapest white plain ceiling fans you can get. And of course, we'll go work with them and getting them done. But, they're spending $600, $700, $800, when they could have got that for 3 or 4 up front.
Right.
And if ceiling fans are a big deal to you, deal with it with your builder. If your the finish of your tile, I can't stand to go in a house and the tiles are crooked or things don't line up. You got to make sure before you take possession of the house or before they even finish it, you need to make sure that your what bugs you is being addressed up front.
The most nitpicky I have ever been is when I've walked my clients through a new build. It is a new build. I expect it to be a different quality
than a used
house or a resale house.
Absolutely.
And I'm not afraid if my client doesn't see something. I'm not afraid to say, hey, can we have this fixed? Or, this paint needs touched up or whatever.
Most of us didn't start out with a new car. Okay, we got some used car or something Uncle Eddie had left over that you could use for a while.
It was only 10 years old.
And then that day when you were able to buy a brand new car, okay, totally different feeling. Same with a house, okay. Even though this house may be new to you on a used one, it's still a used house, okay?
Right.
Things go wrong. Things have been fixed, and things can go awry. On a new house, you shouldn't have to deal with that.
No.
But if you accept things that aren't really acceptable when you buy the house, you're kind of stuck. Okay.
So if we look at you and we're like, hey, are you okay with this? Or are you okay with that? It's probably because we've noticed some of the other things you have been picky about in other homes. So we want to make sure you're okay with it being this way.
Right. So, I don't know. Just, but that's back to communication with your clients and everything else. And it's so easy, especially on a new build, nice and shiny, everything's clean, new carpet smell, all this stuff. They go in and they just, it's like a new car smell. It covers up, that the ashtray doesn't work right. Or the plug-ins aren't quite, whatever. And that's part of our job is to kind of take a step back, objective look, while you're oohing and ahhing over everything and go, okay, well, we probably need to get this addressed right here or this right here. And the good quality builder is going to take care of that stuff, and they're not even going to bat an eye. They're there to make sure you have a good house too, there's some shysters out there, but they're few and far between. We have some quality builders.
Yes.
Here. So, we're not here bashing builders, okay? But
it's almost like comparing apples to apples on most of them.
That's true.
It just comes down to preference.
And you get a good local builder that has a great reputation, and you can have one of these national builders that goes in and buys 3 or 4 lots next to them that doesn't necessarily build to the same standards. You got to be careful, because that'll affect the value of your house. Okay. Back when we were doing a lot of short sales, we had a short sale up in Piedmont, and the beautiful house, the people took care of it really well, but one of the national builders come in and bought all the rest of the lots in that development and built some cheap houses. Killed the value of theirs. They were 20 grand underwater. We ended up having to do a short sale, and it was just frustrating that can happen.
Yes, and that's something they couldn't control,
No,
unfortunately.
Absolutely, there's nothing they could do, but they couldn't really wait another. They needed to move, and the taxes had went up, insurance had went up,
right.
And their payment went up $400 a month, and they could no longer afford it.
Right.
Okay. Through stuff that was totally out of their control.
$400 doesn't sound like a lot, but
it is when your payment's $900 and goes to $1,300, and you've got 2 little babies, and
right.
And of course kids are expensive.
That could be a car payment. That could be groceries.
Mm-hmm. Well, $400 coming out. It's got to come out of somewhere.
Right.
If you don't pay the car payment, they come get the car.
Don't
So most people take it out of their grocery budget or whatever. Do the beans and rice thing, and that lowers your quality of life. So that's why you really got to pay attention to some of those things. We've got our lunch today.
Yes, we
do. At Olive Garden over off of Southwest 3rd Street between MacArthur and Rockwell. If you're a realtor or in the real estate industry, you're welcome to come join us for lunch. Bye. And we're going to Olive Garden, and we'll be in the back, right?
Yes.
Yep. We always have a great big
We always
table.
get stuck in the back.
Yeah. Well, they treat you like family. That's just kind of the way it is. You got anything else today?
I don't think we do today, but we'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have. Just comment, message, call.
Email us, whatever. And go out and enjoy this weekend. This is the first 70-degree day. Sunday will be our first 70-degree day in no telling how long. Go out and spend some time with family. Go have a good time.
Drag the TV outside and watch the Super Bowl outside.
Super Bowl, Schmooper Bowl. Well, if it wasn't for the commercials, it wouldn't be worth the time of day. So, all right. Well, we're Weichert Realtors Main Edge, where we do real life, real world real estate every day. Come see us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.